Howdy folks, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with the mighty Jingles. So I'm back in the bubble, I'm in my Python, and I'm just bimbling around the Pleiades sector, dodging Thargoids and minding my own business when I came across a point of interest that I'd never seen before in any other system. This is a listening post. I have absolutely no idea what it's supposed to be listening for, but it is in a sector crawling with Thargoids, so naturally I just assumed it was worthy of investigation. Upon getting close enough to scan it, I found a message log, and the message log contained a bit of a mystery. Corrupted transponder signal DRJ184A detected, matching signals detected in two other systems, HR1183 and HIP 19847, approximate signal range 62 to 63 light years. This is an emergency, half the crew dead, the rest can hear explosions. Safe latitude 9945, the monument like a beacon bringing them. Transmission ends. So what's this all about? Well, I don't know, but I think I might stand a decent chance of finding out if I investigate the two other systems mentioned in the data log. So starting with the HIP 1183 system, which is a mere 10 light years away, and can easily do that in one jump. Let's go and check it out. I must stress that I ran across this listening post completely by accident. I wasn't looking for anything in particular. I certainly wasn't looking for the listening post specifically. I wasn't following any guides. I was just in the right place at the right time, and there it was. So, let's see what we can find in the HIP 1183 system. Course is plotted, just waiting for the frameshift drive to spool up. And I have no idea what it is I'm going to find there. It might be another listening station, it might be something entirely different. But we're going to find out sooner or later. Well, sooner rather than later. It is only a 10 light year jump after all. And any second now, here we are. Right. Looks like I've never been in this system before. So there's some discovery to be done. 17 different orbital bodies. We're just scooping up some fuel. Won't need a lot. Okay. Let's check out the HIP 1183 system. We are still deep in the Pleiades cluster, and this system is crawling with non-human signal sources, so Thargoids. I'm going to be staying away from them. But there is also a human signal source in this system. It's another listening post. So providing I can avoid any Thargoid entanglements along the way, and even if I do get hyperdicted, I don't have any Thargoid tech or Guardian tech on this ship, so they shouldn't be too interested in me. We're going to close in and see what story this listening post has to tell us. It's exactly the same, I assume, human design as the listening post I encountered in the previous system, and this one also has a message. Corrupted transponder signal DRJ184A detected, matching signals detected, Pleiades sector HRWD179, which is where I've just come from, and HIP 19847, approximate signal range 58 to 59 light years. The text is almost exactly the same, with one difference. This time it gives a longitude of 19.06. And the last signal gave a latitude. They're still talking about some kind of monument that's attracting something. So I have a latitude and a longitude, which doesn't help unless I've actually got a planet on which to check out that latitude and longitude, but I do still have a third system to investigate. So we're going to head there and see if I can find a third listening post with, hopefully, a third piece of the puzzle. The HIP 19847 system is a couple of jumps away from where I am. I've actually travelled further away from it than my initial starting point in order to find the second listening post. And once again I'm travelling through systems that are infested with Thargoids, and this time my journey is not without incident. I'm being hyperdicted again. This has happened to me a couple of times by now, so it's not quite as scary as it was the first couple of times it happened. I'm starting to become a bit of an old hand at this. Right, my systems are going to get shut down by an energy pulse. But this, there it is. Drive's offline. Where is it? I'd like to actually get a good look at it And I should be okay because I don't have any Guardian or Thargoid technology on board my ship. Oh, I can hear it. Which I realise is completely unrealistic. I wouldn't be able to, but whatever. It's a game. But yes, I've heard that as long as you don't have any Thargoid or Guardian technology on board your ship, the Thargoids will leave you alone. They'll pull you out of hyperspace, they'll check you out, but it's more curiosity than hostility. I'm just checking. I thought I had a Thargoid scanner installed, but apparently I don't. Now that might be a good thing or a bad thing, because I don't actually know if having one of those counts as something that the Thargoids get upset about. Wait, oh crap. Oh, I think I found it. Please don't interpret that as a hostile act. I'm really sorry. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't have a Thargoid scanner, so I can't actually get a sensor reading. Yeah. Okay, it looks like I'm going to live. Let's flash up the night vision so we can get a better look at it. And there it is. And it's just looking at me. I find myself wishing I did have the Thargoid scanner on board so I could actually get some useful data out of this, but then again, I don't know, maybe that would count as the kind of technology that the Thargoids don't like people having. Because I'm certainly not equipped to fight it. So perhaps that's a good thing. Are you just going to sit there staring at me, or are you going to bugger off so I can scan your hyperspace wake? No, he's just going to sit there. That's... Turn the ship lights on and night vision off so we can get a better view of what it actually looks like without the false colours overlaid by the night vision. They sure are pretty. Have you seen the way they warp space around them? It's doing something. I'm using the thrusters here to try to spin around it and get a look at it from the other side, but it seems to be matching my rotation and just keeping me in its forward field of view, which is probably also keeping me inside its weapon arcs. It's not letting me get around behind it. I think I might have outstayed my welcome. Normally it would have buggered off by now, but this one seems to be unusually curious. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get some Thargoid sensor data from scanning its hyperspace wake. Instead, I think I'd better just get the hell out of here while it's still curious and not hostile. But it does seem to be allowing me to leave without interference. So, you know, I suppose I should look on the bright side. Well, anyway, my destination, the HIP 19847 system, is still 2 jumps away from my current position, thanks to that Thargoid interdiction. But I arrived without any further complications. And sure enough, there is a 3rd listening post in this system, so let's close in, get a scan, and go and see what this one has to say. Dropping into real space, there it is, exactly the same design as the other 2. Just waiting for the scan to complete. And we'll see if this one has a 3rd message log, and it does, with the 3rd and hopefully final piece of the puzzle. Corrupted transponder signal DRJ184A detected, matching signals detected. Yep, the other 2 systems I've already visited. Approximate signal range 16 to 17 light years. Emergency half crew dead. Yeah, same message fragment as before, but this time it gives me the name of a planet, or the description of a planet, planet A2D. Again, they're talking about a monument like a beacon, bringing them, whatever the hell they are. So I've now got 3 pieces of the puzzle. 3 approximate signal ranges from the 3 systems that I've investigated. I have a latitude, a longitude, and the description of a planet. So I need to use that information to triangulate the position of a system that's 16 to 17 light years from here, 62 to 63 light years from the system where I found the first listening post, and 58 to 59 light years from the HR 1183 system. So I'm going to need to go to the galaxy map and see if I can find a candidate system that meets all 3 of those criteria. And I figure the best thing that I can do to start with is to bookmark the 3 systems where I found the 3 listening posts so I can get some idea of the volume of space in which I'm going to have to search. And from there it's a relatively simple matter of finding a system that's the correct relative distance from all three of the listening posts, and that must be my target system. But, well, I'm not going to go so far as to say it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but that's still a large volume of space to cover, so I figured I could make things easier for myself if I started my search outward from the HIP 19847 system, because my target, whatever it is only 16 to 17 light years from here, as opposed to the 50 to 60 light years from the other two sources of the listening stations. So if I can find a system that has the right number of planets, it needs to have at least 2, I can fly there as long as it's 16 to 17 light years from here, and then when I get there, check that it's the correct distance from the other 2 starting locations, and if it is, I know I must be in the right place. As it happens, it turns out that it's a lot easier to do from the pop-up navigational display, which actually lists all of the systems in jump range according to distance. So I just look for a system that's 16 to 17 light years away from where I am. I have 3 candidates. One of those is the HIP 19284 system, and it's the only one of the 3 systems within 16 to 17 light years away from where I am that's inside the triangle plotted from the 3 systems containing the listening posts. So this is probably my candidate, and we're going to go ahead and plot a jump to there, and when we get there we're going to check it out. Shortly afterwards I arrive in system. Just going to honk it with the discovery scanner. And there are 42 different planetary bodies in this system, so it's certainly got enough planets, and I'm looking for planet A2D, which is going to be the 4th moon around the 2nd planet in orbit around the 1st star in this system. I arrive at the relevant planet, give it a scan, and I thought I was going to have to spend some time in orbit cruising around trying to narrow down the precise latitude and longitude indicated by the message fragments from the first 2 listening posts, but as it happens there is a human point of interest on the surface of this planet. It goes by the name of Site 94, and it's at the exact correct coordinates. So good news, I found it, whatever it is. There's just one slight problem, one teeny little fly in the ointment. I'm in my Python, and I'm going to have to make a landing, which I can do in the Python, but I can't actually do anything once I've landed because my Python isn't equipped with a planetary vehicle hangar or a surface reconnaissance vehicle. So I've bookmarked this planet so I can find it again easily, and I'm going to have to fly the 440 light years back to the Shinrata Desra system, dock at the Jameson Memorial Orbital Starport, and pick a ship that does actually have a planetary vehicle hangar and a surface reconnaissance vehicle. So this is a job for my ASP Explorer. Now, my fully engineered ASP has great jump range, even though I don't have a Guardian frameshift drive module yet, but that is in my to-do shopping list. But the 440 light year journey back doesn't take long at all, even without one. And we're dropping from orbital cruise. Ooh, system link error, security response unavailable. Awesome. So if I get in any trouble down here, I'm on my own. Site 94. No idea what it is. No idea why those 3 listening posts were pointing to it. And no idea what went wrong here. There seems to be some kind of... I mean, yes, everything looks green anyway because I'm observing through night vision, because we're on the night side of the planet, but the actual... Hang on, did I just see something jump in? I'm sure I saw a flash of light out there indicating somebody dropping in from... Oh, this doesn't look good, does it? There is another ship down there. There are another 2 ships down. I've seen something like this before, haven't I? A while back I came across, again, completely out of the blue, not something I was actually looking for, but I came across some kind of covert research installation that looked an awful lot like this, where something had gone horribly, horribly wrong, and where there were a couple of ships orbiting the perimeter just keeping an eye on everything. Very much like this. Is this more of the same? Let's put down and find out. Bearing in mind that this is a lawless system, so if I do get into any trouble here, I am very much on my own. If you find yourself in this sort of situation and you are worried about the safety of your ship, once you've disembarked into the SRV, you can order your ship to take off, which will keep it safe. But if you get into trouble while you're down here, yeah, there's no quick retreat. There's no quick escape, because you have to call your ship in again, and you have to be a certain distance away from any settlement in order to do that. Nevertheless, the last time I was in this situation, the two orbiting sentries weren't hostile, so I'm going to leave the ship on the surface and take my chances. Automated mining extractors. Yeah, I don't think this is a mining installation. I think this is something that people might want the casual observer to think is a mining installation. Well, let's check it out. There's an awful lot of contacts there, an awful lot of these automated mining rigs. But I'm pretty sure they're not what I'm here to look at. There we go. Settlement comms. Yeah, I have found something like this before. Completely my accident. And I'm wondering if this is the same sort of thing. Although possibly with a different story to tell. Let's check it out. Voice log there, in the deep. That sounds pretty ominous, but it was number 3 of 4, so there's another 3 that I have to find, and I don't want to play them out of order. So we're going to find the other 3 settlement comms uplinks, download the data logs, and then play them out in order. Is it just me, or are you also seeing some blast damage on that structure up ahead? Yeah. Another. Oh, this is number 1. Okay, so we'll go ahead and play this one while we check out the others.
Extraction was up to 650 tons a day, but I've had to put operations on hold. An excavator unearthed something in one of the shafts. Looks like some kind of ancient monument, I guess. Almost like an underground temple. I'm no expert, but it looks pretty damn old. I'd be surprised if this thing is human. Some of the guys suggested bulldozing the thing and carrying on with operations, but I'm not senior enough to make that call. I asked HQ to send someone to evaluate the find. We could do with a xenoarchaeologist, really, but they'll probably just send a couple of suits, then tell us to flatten the place. You know, this could be an important find, but everything's about the bottom line with those guys.
Right. So it actually was a mining installation. But they found something. I'm getting a Mines of Moria vibe here. We dug too deep. Drums in the deep. Anyway, let's check out number 2.
This is an emergency report. The site is under attack. Half my crew is dead and the rest of us have taken shelter underground. I can hear explosions on the surface. Hopefully we'll be safe down here. The monument must have sent a message, acting like a beacon and bringing them down on top of us. Whatever they are, they seem damned angry. We should have demolished that thing when we had the chance.
Okay, so you can shoot up the extractors to grab the minerals contained within, but the SRV can only carry 2 tons, so it's a waste of time. Anyway, let's find out what happened next.
Mayday, Mayday. If anyone can hear this, I'm in Area 17F. Temperature is close to freezing. People have started going missing. I was in communication with an excavation crew in 16P, but they went dark a little while ago. I sent one of the foremen to check it out, but he hasn't come back. Looks quiet on the surface now.
Frame shift charge detected.
But that doesn't put me at ease. They could be down here with us, picking off the survivors one by one. If anyone receives this message, inform system authorities immediately. And make sure they send support ships. Whoever is out there means business.
Yeah. So they were digging, they found some kind of monolith, getting 2001 flashbacks here, and they fucked with it. And it didn't like being fucked with.
Jenkins couldn't take it anymore down here in the freezing dark, so he went up to the surface. I was on comms with him when he reached the top. He saw something that scared him half to death. Then the comlink went dead.
Incoming message.
Something's waiting for us up there. Or worse still, it's down here looking for us. Either way, I'm not going down without a fight. I've rigged explosives around the monument with trip switches at 2-meter intervals. I'm looking at that thing right now. It's pulsating, like it's talking in some alien language, telling them to come and get us. But I'm gonna shut it up for good. 200 pounds of premium-grade explosives should do the trick.
So that's what happened at Site 94. Mining team found something. They delved too deep. The question is, was it Thargoids? I mean, probably. We are deep in the Pleiades sector here after all. Or was it Guardians? The Guardians were a sort of precursor race to the Thargoids. And apparently were wiped out by the Thargoids. So which was it? No real way of telling, I suppose. But it does raise some interesting questions. And I love this about Elite, the fact that you can just stumble across these kind of things. I mean, this isn't the first time I've found this kind of location. Back at the system that contained the crashed Thargoid ship, where I was picking up Thargoid sensor data, there was a site like this as well. And I'm wondering if I wasn't supposed to find that site through triangulating locations from clues dropped by other listening posts. But it's cool that if you just happen to be in the right place at the right time, you can find it without going through the rigmarole that I went through with the listening posts in this episode. But it does kind of beg the question, how many more things like this are out there just waiting to be discovered? Because you kind of have that in other games like World of Warcraft as well, where there are some quests that only become active if you're in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. And years can go by before anybody stumbles upon the right sequence of events in order to activate the quest. But the thing is, with a game like World of Warcraft that's been out for so long, with so many players, pretty much everything that can be found in World of Warcraft has been found and is documented. So there are no real mysteries out there in World of Warcraft anymore. But Elite's been out a couple of years. It was released in 2014. But it doesn't have no 15 million players like World of Warcraft had at its peak, so how many more things like this are still out there, just still waiting to be stumbled over by the unwary adventurer? I guess we'll never really know, but it is nice to know that the possibility at least exists. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my solving this conundrum, and as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.